So Dan,
Yes.
you didn't watch the Marvels, huh?
No.
Are you going to watch
It
it?
wasn't made for me. It's. I was told if I don't like their politics, then don't buy the book and don't see the movie. I'm just doing what I'm told, man.
Yeah. So
No, but
yeah,
seriously, I get much more entertainment and enjoyment watching people who've watched the show. And I'll actually spend more time than the running time of the movie listening to my favorites uh, lose their minds over having to watch the show and waste their time. So I
yeah,
know what's going on. I know what's happened, and everything that's happened in the last week has been what we, the community, the fellowship, the fellowship, have been talking
yeah.
about for years. So
Yeah, so the reason why I want to bring up the Marvels, I'm pretty sure Grae, you already know, and we already predicted it last week. And the fact that Grae and we both saw the movie, and it was
oh, I'm
awful.
so
It was
sorry.
boring.
Sweet.
Like we said, there wasn't really like woke shit in it or anything, but
Yeah.
it's just awful. It's just very
Yeah,
boring.
it's just very bad.
Yeah, so the reason why I want to bring that up is because I want to talk about this article right over here. This comes to us from Screen Rant. The Marvels tracking for catastrophic second weekend box office drop. I heard it's like
Oh no.
80% drop or something.
87.
Holy crap, man.
Yeah.
That's a lot. That's a lot of money. That is
Yeah,
that is a lot of money.
It's not only just MCU anymore. It's the worst comic book film ever. It's the worst drop ever for any comic book film.
Yeah. Man, that's
how bad it
crazy.
is.
All right, let's see. After suffering an extremely disappointing opening weekend, the MCU movie The Marvels is setting up for an absolutely catastrophic second week drop. So this is from Screen Rant. It's not. I'm not reading from like, stuff that's like usually hate, that doesn't approve and dislike, woke shit. I'm reading from Screen Rant. So even if they're saying it, then it's like, holy crap, this is you can't really, defend how terrible this is. The Marvels is experiencing a terrible box office drop in its second week, starring the characters Kamala Khan, Carol Danvers, and Monica Rambeau. The movie serves as a follow-up to Captain Marvel's Miss Marvel and WandaVision, while also trying to into other Marvel Cinematic Universe projects. The movie suffered a disappointing opening weekend, earning a mere $47 million against a budget of over $270 million. Yeah, it's not going to make any money, right? Here's the thing though, like I'm not going to finish reading this, is because we would have them blaming men for not liking the movie, right? Right. So Dan, how do you feel about like them already blaming men? It's your fault. Your fault. The
Well,
movie
like I said,
didn't do
I was
well.
just doing what I was told. They told us it wasn't for us. Brie Larson said years ago she doesn't give a shit what a 40-year-old man says. Well, I'm only half white-ish, but I don't qualify. But here, let me spit some economic facts here. Traditionally, the market, as far as making purchasing decisions in the United States, has always been women. Something like 70 to 80% of all marketing decisions, that is spending money on things, is done by women. Last time I checked, this isn't China. Women actually outnumber us. So if people didn't show up to your movie that you marketed to women and not people like me, because I'm a big fat bigot, the question isn't why didn't the men show up? I'm still waiting to hear these guys ask, why didn't you show up, ladies? This was for you. Y'all showed up to Barbie, no problem.
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't you show up to this? But no, it's our fault somehow. So it makes me laugh every single time whenever they try to pander. They use the pander stone, and and it backfires. And then suddenly it's like it's the fault of the people they told to go pound sand.
Yep. So one of the crazy people out there, and of course, when we're saying crazy, who also have like Trump derangement syndrome, one of the main person that's saying that how men are pieces of shit is a Stephen King.
Yeah.
And it comes to us from this is the sideline over here to Cosmic Book News. Stephen King blames the Marvel's failure on men. Miss Marvel Iman Vellani says she is appreciative of the support. Of the page, straight out the clown world, legendary novelist Stephen King blames the Marvel's failure on men. So I'm going to go directly to his tweet. This is from Twitter right over here. It says, some of the rejection of the Marvels may be adolescent fanboy hate. Yuck girls. So, yeah. But the thing is, didn't he say some shit like, right? Yeah, down here, the umbrella guy, he grabbed the screenshot. I don't go to MCU movies. I don't care for them, but I find this barely mass gloating over the low box office for the Marvels very unpleasant. Why gloat over failure? Yeah. He doesn't really care about comic book shit anyways, but the thing is that he's just, parroting what the left and the woke want him to say. Right?
Yeah.
I don't know. How do you feel about this, Grae? How do you feel about Stephen King?
Yeah. What movies did this guy make again? I know he's a pretty big name, but
so he's a book writer, and he has he's terrible at finishing his books. Like, not finishing, but like he's not George R.R. Martin, but he has terrible endings for a lot of his books. Like, that's why so he did It and It 2 and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So he's just a writer. He's a guy who made like he's a great writer. He has a lot of like old stuff that's really good, but a lot of his shit is just like pretty. I don't know. How do you feel about this stuff?
Yeah. Sounds to me like the way he wrote it is like he wants to get attention. That's all I'm getting. It's like he doesn't really mean what he says, or neither does he care about what's going on right now. He just, hey guys, notice me. I'm a popular writer, so I'm gonna say some edgy stuff to make myself sound cool. But at the end of the day, he doesn't really care. It's like he doesn't really care about what's going on with the Marvels or how Marvel is going down, because I know that's not his genre, as far as I can tell. That's not his genre in his books or in his films. So yeah, another high-profile public figure trying to get attention. That's all there is for me.
Yeah. So someone in chat says, is he blaming himself? Yeah, you probably didn't watch it, because Gary from Neurotic says, did you watch the Marvels? I don't think he did. What about you, Dan? How do you feel about what Stephen King is saying, stuff like that, and saying that it's all fanboy hate? It's all our fault, right? Yeah, like you said, it wasn't made for us. But like, what do you think about his?
When I was in high school, I would see like mass shooters, or there'd be a child molester on the news, and they all seem to have the same face. So I came up with this idea of facial profiling. Like, whenever you see a picture of one of these criminals, it's like you look at their face, like, oh yeah, obviously, like you didn't see this coming. Stephen King has one of those faces where he's an obviously male feminist, left-tard. Look at him.
Yeah, true and real.
Now, I guess today, like the edgy or internet thing is called physiognomy check. That's the new buzzword, which that's actually a real thing. But yeah, facial profiling. He's a male feminist, which means he's a predator, which means that he doesn't actually mean anything he says, doesn't actually believe in it. He just wants to appear and virtue signal as if he's on the side of woman. But as Gary from Neurotic just asked him, and he ghosted him on it, did you watch the movie? I don't think you watched the movie. I was really disappointed in Stephen King when he first got on Twitter, and I realized that one of my favorite authors growing up, turns out that he's not as smart as he writes, which it just proves the old adage, don't meet your heroes. But I have to say, and I hope you're going to bring it up, I'm actually a little bit more disappointed in Miss Marvel.
Yeah. It's how do you feel about that then?
Well, it's not just me. I've always thought that she was kind of like, as bad as the material was, as bad as like no one really liked Captain Marvel and Monica Rambeau, who cares? And no one really watched Miss Marvel either. But from everything I saw of her, she looked like she was really invested in the character, and she, even in the trailers, like she was the best part of the trailers just because she just was into it. She seemed like she really was trying.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not alone in this. I think a lot of even the critical channels that we all love have noticed that, she seems great for the role. It's just not our thing because we're 4-year-old men, but she seemed really likable. She seemed like if only they had better material for her, if only they had better writing, maybe someone like her could carry a movie. Maybe the Miss Marvel series should have been a movie, kind of like a Spy Kids type of thing. She seems really out and says, we need a better quality of fan. That was very disappointing to me. And I realized that maybe she's saying it because she's in the community and she has to say certain things. She has to align herself with the cult in order to, not get canceled. But it's still sad. It's still
Yeah.
sad. Like, it would have been nice because she does seem genuine and she does actually seem to like the characters. So it would have been nice if she put like a Henry Cavill. So, I don't think it's the male fans. I'm actually disappointed in the ladies. Like, ladies, this is for you. And they didn't. So it would have
Now,
been nice if she was a little bit more base. So I'm actually very disappointed in the young
She-
lady.
She actually is somewhat more mature than we think, right? I believe she's 21 years old and stuff like that. So I'm going to go over here and share this right over here. This is from Culture Crave on Twitter X. Iman Vellani addresses the Marvel struggling at the box office. She, quote, "I don't want to focus on something that's not even in my control, because what's the point? That's for Bob Iger. The box office has nothing to do with me. I'm happy with the finished product, and the people that I care about enjoyed the film."
Good enough.
yeah,
That's actually really
Yeah.
mature for
for
like
her age.
not blaming anyone. Oh, toxic men. Like the fact that that's actually really like
Yeah.
well stated. Like,
I wish she stopped there. If she had stopped there, like, hey, you know what? It's just like, look, if someone likes the movie, like, I'm not going to crap on them. I didn't see it, but I'm not going to rain on your parade. But if I notice that it's bad, I'm going to point and laugh at it. So,
yeah,
to each their own. Like, that's the whole thing about trying to just leave everyone alone and let them do their thing, is that I can point and laugh, but if you like it, you like it. It's
Yeah.
like everyone can do their thing.
yeah. So, Grae, what do you think about her statement here?
Yeah, it's actually pretty good. Yeah, pretty surprising. I'll admit, I know I said this when the first trailers dropped. They did not put her in a good light. It's like they put all her high pitched screechy voice in the trailer. It's like, oh no, she's gonna get so annoying in the movie. But turns out in the movie she wasn't. It's very far off. Oops. Oh crap! I cut my camera. My bad.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
Okay. Yeah. She was they made her very annoying in the camera in the trailer for me. But in the final movie, she was one of actually the best parts, which unfortunately was not enough. And now that the box office results are here, she's taking it very, very well given her age. Like, you would expect the default Hollywood template to be what do you call this? To be that, oh, it's all blah blah's fault. Oh, it's because of you're all misogynist, sexist, blah 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 blah. That we're also used to by now. But she's taking it really well.
Yeah.
And I saw Az's tweet earlier. It's like, give her another role in another project, and she will go places.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, give her a non Disney role. Sign her up in another studio with a better written story, with a better character. She's gonna go to places. Yeah, and I agree with that. And given her statement on this, like, she's the kind of person, she's rational and she's open to feedback. That's the most important, right? Because, like, you can have, everyone in life has their ups and downs. So whenever you're down, that's the point where you take feedback and try to look at yourself, see what you could do better, what went wrong. She's the kind of person who's open to that. Like, she's 21, right? And like, what, Rachel Zegra's like, what, 24? And look at the stark difference of their attitude. Like, it's like Rachel Zegra's like 24 minus 20 in age. Right?
Maybe Gen Z is a little bit more based than, like, than we thought they were.
I've heard that rumbling. I've heard that there's some kind of whisper that Gen Z is going the other way. I haven't seen very much proof for it, but there's rumblings going on.
All right, let's go ahead. I'm going to read the last paragraph of this article. Let's see. Marvel has been attempting to reload, but the Marvels indicates that its effort have been tirelessly unsuccessful. There is still an opportunity for MCU to recover as it brings in the X-Men and Fantastic Four, which we're going to talk about Fantastic Four a little bit. Depending on how these projects develop, the MCU can find its stability again. Unfortunately, it may be too late for the Marvels to recover. Yeah, definitely way too late. Like, and the thing is that we already moved, not we, of course, but like they already moved Dune 2 to next year. Right. So this thing had no competition. Not really. It had no competition at all. So why did it fail? Right. It's because the woman didn't show up. Like I mentioned last week, like they didn't show up. Right. And I talked about it on my personal channel. Like I talked about, you have Twilight, you had Barbie, you had Magic Mike, you had fucking 50 Shades of Grey. Like, all of that is made for women, and those movies made a lot of money, right? like this movie didn't do is maybe people don't care. People just don't care. Maybe just I don't. Is there superhero fatigue? Maybe to normies, but just if the movie was well written, word of mouth will get it out. Word of mouth would have made this movie really, really good. But women didn't show up, and they're blaming men, of course. But that's pretty nutty. It's pretty nutty.
Yeah, and to think that I think there's even some competition with Friday Nights at Freddy's. I think it's eating up some of its market share, even though it's a stark difference in genre. And and the budget for that was like what, 20M?
Yeah, like $20 million.
Yeah. And it came out on streaming on the same day as the theaters. Yet it made a lot of money. It made a lot of money.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Danny, have you guys watched that movie?
I have not. I've heard great things about it. I didn't really play the game, so I'm not.
It's like I feel like I should play the games first before I watch it.
Yeah, but I mean, there's a lot of games that are, if they make a Minecraft movie, I won't have the first clue about that either. There's a whole new generation that's coming up, and obviously that was for them. And from what I understand, it's great, and I might, we don't go to the movies anymore; it's too expensive. But we're definitely going to watch it just because we heard such good buzz about it. $20 million, and what's it up to now? It's like
over 200 million, I believe.
Yeah, that's fantastic, and it's definitely something we're gonna check out. One thing I will say, and only because I'm married to a girl who she will tell me what she's into and what she's not, and she and a lot of people might sympathize with this. Girls seem to like scary movies, even though they might get scared of them. They are traditionally a good date movie. Better than rom-coms, because of course the girls like the rom-coms are like the horror movie for guys. Like I can't go to one without getting severe anxiety because it's like you guys put yourself in this whole situation. But if the horror movie for guys is the rom-com, then the horror movie guys love horror movies, and they're fun for us. But for girls, they really get scared, and people like getting scared. They like riding roller coasters. They like jumping out of planes with a parachute. So I think that there's more of a market for young girls who maybe even played the game, and if not, it's still a scary movie. So it's fun. It's fun to get scared.
Yeah, I think so. It's especially if it's like because if they get scared, they want to hug something, right?
That's why guys take them. That's right.
Yeah. Yes.
Thanks for checking out this segment of the Project Eggroll podcast. If you like what we do here, please like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and you will know next time when we go live. We do go live every Saturday at 8 p.m. Once again, we are just getting started. Tons of more video to come. Thanks, and we'll see you guys next time.